Well, hey out there in Guitar Land. So Halloween, midnight, I went ahead and I posted my cover of Them. And I know that there's other ways probably of playing this than the way I did. In fact, there's an instructional video out there of a guy doing it, and it sounds pretty good. Write notes and everything, which is really nice. But the problem is he plays it on an electric guitar. Nothing against the guy, because he obviously figured it out really, really well, and he plays it fine. But most acoustic guitars, and that's what this was played on, they don't really extend very well after the 12th fret for chordal work. Single notes maybe, but chords, okay, maybe, not so much. And it's getting harder, If we were to take a classical approach, it would probably be from the 12th fret, to open strings. So the way I figured it out also has a couple of commonalities, with each portion kind of playing in a similar way, especially with fingerings and stuff like that involved. So without any further ado, here we go. So open A, and all we're doing is outlining an A minor chord, but that's it. And do use your pinky, because right afterwards, the transition to the, G major, somewhat first inversion, really it's a G major with B in the bass, is much easier this way than, having to go really quickly in another, It's not like it's impossible, but that's better. Yeah, I think you'll feel it yourself. It's a little more comfortable. Anyway, 5th fret, A, E, and C. Down to B. One thing you should pay attention to is it's Baroque music, so before I go any further with the, what chords are what, I want you to think about what the bass notes are doing. So if we separate the two, it's easier to understand kind of where we're going with that. Now it's just a matter of combining them. C, just a normal C major. You're not really going to hit the G though. This is going to be picking C and E the whole time, while proceeding downward, E, 2nd fret on the D string, to open D, to the C down below. It's kind of nice, huh? So this next part is on that one video fingered, and then a few other weird ways. I find that it's most comfortable doing it this way, because it only requires you to learn one way of playing this, because you are going to play it twice on the second and higher part. So let's separate those parts again. And it's F to E, D, C. And now you could play this open, but I think it would be better to play it here, because when you play it up here, you're not learning anything new. You're not playing anything different. So hammer on pull off, hammer, pull off. And a pull off is really, just picking with your finger in that position to play a lower note. So you're ending there on G sharp. So with a nice low, it's almost like, right? You can play this all sorts of different ways. So at any rate, the bass part, you are F, G, and notice I only play this with the middle finger here. So F, G, G sharp, skip up to the D string, E, it's the same as this, if you wanted to know that, and 2nd fret, so 1, 3, 4 on the low E string, and then up to there, open E, open A twice. And there is the reason why this. And I kind of have a rocking motion with my hand to help put those two down. Short hands, you know. Rock a little. And with this, I'm actually lifting off just a little and then placing it on the next one. So, oh, that's terrible. Okay, so that's that. And the reason why to lift off just a little is to try to minimize the squeaks. And you don't want to hear a slide. You want to hear. Even though I screwed up, you get the idea. So from there, we now play it in D minor. So we're going up a 4th. Interesting modulation. Actually, transposition. Same fingerings. But now it's on the open D. So not the A anymore, it's on the D. And the 10th fret. 9th fret. Or excuse me, 7th fret. It's an E. That's the 8th fret. Not bad, huh? And so that would be a, excuse me, what would that be? C with an E in the bass. Very nice. And so for this, the next part, which on this one was easy to do there, we could do that here. But I don't think it sounds right. I don't think that's what he's doing. I think the other guy on the other video had this part correct for here. We're essentially outlining and holding an A while we're doing it. So you see, the only real trouble there is we're holding an A minor chord, 7, 5, 5, 5. So we're skipping the B string, so we're not really holding the E there. Right? See how I'm picking that? It's basically, that's that, omitting that entirely. And when we're shifting down, we're holding the same shape with our index and ring fingers, but we're shifting our pinky down to keep that note going. And if you need to just practice that to get the shift right, go ahead. Then we're going down to on the F, just an F major, and an octave of that, so while still holding that down. So, beep, beep, beep. And then we're here. So, but here, this is the main reason why I was fingering it like this, besides convenience, is when you play it up here, you can't just, no, you got to do this. And this is the most difficult part, I think, of the whole piece, besides the transition between chords like this, which I actually find a little uncomfortable, and so others may as well. But this, holding that A sharp here, A sharp here, that's tough. To shift that up afterwards feels just like this, but it's a little shorter distance. So it's exactly the same as here, but with that one little finger inclusion. And then instead of the low E, it's open A while holding the B flat. Nice. So that part again. So if you're following along, okay, so that part down here, excuse me, A sharp, C, C sharp, up to A, open A, and then D, D. So the next part's the easy bit, but there's a part after you play it for a few bars that isn't as easy, and it's not gone over on the other video, so I thought I'd cover it here. And if anybody knows Andy LaRock and they've convinced him that it's a very good idea maybe to post the, hey, this is how I really play it video, I would be very intrigued in seeing that. That would be great. But at any rate, but again, this is just what I figured out. Now, this is open D, octave D on the 7th fret. You're going to get a minor third, G, excuse me, F on the B string, and an open E. Incidentally, if you wanted to play this very happy, just move that down here. It's like a summer morning with magic. Anyway. Hold that finger down on the B flat. Yeah. And then you shift. So you'll hear that distinctive little finger squeal in the original recording. And so, I mean, I used to play it like this. And the same notes, but there's no real squeaky shift in there. That's because that shift is caused by a change in chord. And you'll hear that in the recording. So it's just kind of neat when you figure that kind of stuff out. So just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 each. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you got that. So we're going to do the tougher one now. So that, it's all in your right hand. This is the only tricky part about that, is keeping the chords correct and open and clean while you're hitting the D and the E at the same time. Okay, so with these two fingers, so thumb and ring, and you're still going up and down. Up, hit it again, down. What was once 2 is now 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so might take a day or so, play it for like 10-20 minutes and then come back to it the next day. You'll have more muscle memory and so forth, but it may take a little bit. This isn't, I mean, if you already play classical, this is going to be a cakewalk for you. But for people who just kind of play it classical, approach the guitar more like an electrified violin, you play with a pick. It can be challenging. So expect a couple of days worth of up, down, up, down. And don't expect to play it exactly right every time, because I believe also that those parts were overdubbed, and that those overdubbed parts towards the end, every once in a while, kind of conflicted, and you can start hearing things like, you'll hear that, but you'll also hear that, almost as if they're doing, or... So, Not convinced completely because there's a lot going on, but, you know, it does sound a few times like I'm hearing that together, those together. And yes, this is kind of James Bond. Fun stuff. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you have any questions you want real answers to, let Andy know. I think he needs a bigger YouTube presence personally. Have a good day. See ya.